Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Thursday, February 12th. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we see solid buying coming into the market today. The previous day's trading, we saw the market testing around that previous swing high and forming a doji type candle around that area. There was a possibility of a change of trend following that doji candle. But in that candle we saw the buyers continue with control by closing up towards the high. So there was some strength from the buyers, but the very small body of that candle certainly did suggest that the buyers had lost all of the momentum that they built for the previous day's trading. Well, they found that momentum again today, and this really does highlight how important it is that when we see these doji type candles and these indecisive type candles, that we require confirmation of a change of trend. So the market's opened above the previous close, just above it, and very quickly took out the high of that candle for the day, trading up almost to the major high at 2093. The buyers coming into this market strongly, building solid upside momentum, suggests a very real possibility of us establishing a new major high for the next day's trading. Now, if the market does come off, and there isn't any sign here that that will occur with the buyers in control and strongly committed, but if that does occur, looking to very strong support down around this yellow highlighted zone, extending from about 2057 down to 2048, and then down below there we have the Ichimoku cloud at 2037.9. So a lot of solid support down below where this market's trading. In terms of trend, we have a very bullish market in all three timeframes now, trading above the cloud, the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, and that's now supported by the Chikou span being above the corresponding price action. So it's suggesting that we're likely to see the market take out that 2093 level. Now, just looking at the bands here, and here we see a continued bullish activity up above the upper band. This is the third candle that we've been trading up above the band with the buyers in control and strongly committed. For the previous day's trading, the market finding support at the upper band really said something about the strength of the buyers and the lack of strength of the sellers here, even though it was a small body candle and we had a lack of net momentum in terms of the net effect between the open and the close. Today the buyers have come back in solidly. If we do see the market come off, potential support around that bottom band, trading at 2065 at the moment. And to the Dow 30, a similar type of candle. The previous day's trading was quite similar, but the market hadn't breached the top of that highlighted zone, and that highlighted zone could probably now be extended up to around this swing high about 17953. Today we've taken that out in a strong bullish manner. We do have a previous swing high around this candle up here about 17991, and we'd like to see the buyers take that out solidly if we are going to test to this major high about 18103. Moving next to the NASDAQ 100, and here we've seen a very bullish candle today. The market gapping at the open and gapping quite significantly, creating this window that extends through the 4308 level of previous support and resistance, and that window now will or has potential to hold as very strong support if we do see any selling coming in. We've also seen the market take out this previous window and close just beyond it. Now we did breach it and trade through there quite quickly, but the market had failed to close beyond there in the recent past, and today we've succeeded in doing that, and it really does negate the strength of that previous window. But the new window here has opened up, forming a good solid base under where the market has traded from today. The buyers in control in this market taking out this high suggests that it certainly does look as though we could see some continued upside momentum. Now, we do have a bullish market in all three timeframes here, with the NASDAQ 100 trading above the cloud, the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, and those two indicators pointing up fairly sharply, so it reflects very solid upside momentum that we've seen over the last 3 days or so. If the market does come off, as I've mentioned, solid support through this window. And just looking at the bands here with the solid bullish activity up above the upper band, we have a very strong bullish market in the medium term time frame. If the market does come off, looking to strong support down here at 4279, just looking a little overextended in the depth away from the upper band, but not too much, so we could see the market extend with higher highs and higher lows, but if we do see the market come off and breach that window that was opened up, strong support at 4279. And moving next to the Russell 2000, and buyers coming into this market strongly as well, creating a gap and forming a window here, providing solid support down below the low of this candle, which trades at 12.06, and it extends down to the previous high, which traded at 12.04. So only a small window, but certainly could be significant if any selling does come into the market. Buyers in control, very large white body candle. The market is set up perfectly for an assault on the major high at 12.21. Alright, let's take a look at some stocks now, and just moving to Yahoo, and we're going to look at the weekly charts here and look at how the current candles are developing. And with Yahoo on the left hand side, we see the market trading down below each of the Ichimoku indicators except for the cloud, so a bearish market in the medium and fast term timeframes, finding resistance at the Kijun-sen for this week's trading, and has finished. And as we watch this current candle develop, we are seeing some potential for resistance around the Kijun-sen indicator at $44.41. Moving over to the right hand side, we're seeing the market bounce off the bottom band here on the bands, the one standard deviation bands, with the market trading down through the bands, no longer a bullish bias in this market, and we were waiting for a potential breakout and further movement to the downside, but support coming in here suggests that if the buyers are strong enough throughout the next week, they could trade up to the middle of the bands around the $47 level. Moving next to Apple, AAPL is the code, and a very strong bullish bias here in this market, trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators. The buyers in control this week hasn't finished yet, but buyers very strongly in control, showing strong commitment, and importantly taking out that 119.75 level that we identified as strong resistance previously. If the market does come off, looking to 119.75 to hold a support. Looking at relative performance against the S&P, strongly outperforming the S&P, so likely that we could see the market continue to trade to the upside. Bouncing off a cyclical low in volatility here, and suggesting that we could see further development of the trend to the upside. And on the bands here on the right hand side, the market finding support for this week off the upper band as we saw for the previous week, and continued price activity up above the upper band, with the market being in a very strong bullish second time frame uptrend. Next we'll take a look at Lowe's, and Lowe's is trading up above each of the Ichimoku indicators, so we have a strong market. If we look at the relative performance, still strongly outperforming the S&P 500, even though we have a very small body candle for this week. And if that candle remains like that, it will suggest a possibility of a potential retracement, with this lack of the strong momentum that we saw for the previous day's trading, suggesting that the buyers might not have been as strong this week as they were for the previous week. Now this candle hasn't finished yet, so it depends on how this candle finishes trading, but if we do see Lowe's come off, looking to strong support at the Tenkan-sen at 68.16, and just here volatility has been quite high, and it certainly does seem as though it may be about to roll over, and that will potentially manifest itself in a congestive type of price action, or a retracement of the previous trend. So we will be looking for that potentially to occur, and that depends on how the buyers react here over the next couple of trading days. Over to the right hand side, and I think this strong trading up above the upper band for most of this time since August really does show this strong positive bias in Lowe's on the weekly charts. Continued trading up above here suggests that if the market does come off, we'll be looking to the upper band at the moment 69.49 to hold a strong support.